Hello and welcome back to Bookish Theories. In today's video, I would like to talk about the songs featured in the mixtape Hope World, focusing on the breakdown and analysis of the themes as well as the literary references hidden inside the tracks. Released in March 2018, Hope World is a 7-track mixtape that explores J-Hope's artistic identity and values. The imagery associated with the project suggests that the mixtape is structured like a journey in J-Hope's personal universe, and the songs explore in detail the themes of identity, gratitude, hope, peace, and friendship. The first track of the mixtape is Hope World, a song that serves as an introduction to the world J-Hope wants to show us, and the opening lines go straight to the point. His name, J-Hope says, is his life, which means that his artistic persona strongly reflects his personal values. The song is an invitation to join him in the world he has built for himself, a universe born out of a mindset based on positivity and respect towards the people who helped him become the person that he is. The lyrics of the first 2 verses heavily focus on gratitude. J-Hope is thankful for the environment he's given, but also for his parents, whose values here are compared to a baton that was passed on and that he received. The lyrics show us that his work ethic, his positivity, his confidence and his respect come from his family, and through those values he created the Hope World we are now being presented. The song continues by welcoming the audience into his universe, and in the chorus we get the first of several literary references hidden within the mixtape. After introducing his world, J-Hope compares his life to a novel, and in the lyrics he mentions 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, a science fiction book by French author Jules Verne. In the book, the narrator is Pierre Aronnax, a marine biologist called in to investigate a giant sea creature who is causing mayhem offshore. The sea creature turns out to be the Nautilus, a submarine built by the mysterious Captain Nemo, and the rest of the story follows the adventures of the protagonists aboard the ship. By referencing this novel, J-Hope introduces the idea that this mixtape is not only a journey, but the medium through which this journey is made possible. In the 3rd verse, J-Hope says that this mixtape is a submarine, everyone is Aronnax and he is Captain Nemo. And this makes sense because in the book, Aronnax joins Captain Nemo in his adventure and together they visit incredible places. What is even more interesting here is that not only J-Hope compares Army to Aronnax and himself to Captain Nemo, but that he also compares his mixtape to the Nautilus. In the book, the Nautilus is described as a masterpiece containing masterpieces, meaning that the submarine not only allows the characters to travel to wonderful places, but that it is a wonderful place within itself. Like Captain Nemo built this submarine, J-Hope crafted the mixtape that made this journey possible, but the mixtape represents both the adventure and the medium through which we experience it. The second track of the mixtape is Piece of Peace Part 1, and here we dive right into the universe Hope World has introduced. The song is meant to be a manifesto of sorts of what J-Hope's persona and artistry represent, and in doing so it explores a side of him that was never shown before. In the track, J-Hope talks about overcoming his personal hardships and his hope of becoming a piece of peace in the life of those who listen to his music. The outside world here is compared to a war zone, a place filled with shadows, blood and sweat, where sprouts wither and no one listens to you no matter how hard you scream. For a song with such an upbeat rhythm, the imagery J-Hope uses is quite dark, and with reason. This world is ruthless, and he knows this very well because, as he mentions in the song, he went through all the things that you're going through now. He too had a dream, he too got rid of nightmares, he too made mistakes and suffered because of them. This is why it's so important to him to become a piece of peace in your life. The point of the song is to show that J-Hope wants to be that ray of sunshine that can help you find your inner peace, and this is something that he said himself on multiple occasions. During the V-Live he held on the day the mixtape was released, J-Hope said that the song is meant to show how important it is to him to become what his name represents, to become that hope, that piece of peace people need in their life. His intention here has a quite humble nature. The peace he is talking about is not the global kind, but the personal peace all of us want for ourselves, and this is also explained through the lyrics. In the song, J-Hope says, "I want to convey courage. You are the standard for happiness and you walk that road. I want to fill up that belief, like a simple piece of cake that fills one's stomach." Now, this part is very cute, and I think it perfectly explains what his intentions are. J-Hope here compares himself to a piece of cake, a treat, something that is sweet and makes you feel better on a bad day. The lyrics imply that it cannot solve all your problems, but that his music is meant to give you the strength and courage you need to fix them yourself and make yourself happy. J-Hope's mission is to bring happiness, peace and hope to his audience, and this is not limited to a single song or a mixtape. As he mentioned himself in the live, the part 1 implies that he wants to hold on to that theme of peace, not only in music but in life. If Piece of Peace is about J-Hope's mission as an artist, Daydream explores the theme of identity and the way he deals with the contrast between his public persona and his private life. The song opens with a line that's very telling. "My character," J-Hope says, "is like half and half," which means that his identity is split in two. The first half is the one that we know, a public figure striving for life, someone who abstains from large cravings, who knows how to behave and acts like he is expected to. The second half, however, is someone different, someone who from time to time wants to give in to those cravings and live freely like everyone else. This half of him wants to cry, to party, to love, but he cannot do that, so instead of giving in to sadness and discontent, he daydreams about it, which is the way he chooses to deal with his double life. By daydreaming, J-Hope crosses the boundaries between reality and imagination and sets himself free. In the song, the dream is compared to a canvas where he is able to draw a different life, but this should not be mistaken as an attempt to escape the life he is living. In the lyrics, he explicitly says that he loves his life, but daydreaming is a common psychological escape that helps him cope with the limitations that come with success. In the pre-chorus, this idea is further developed by referencing two very popular books, Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland and J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. In both novels, the child protagonists leave the real world and travel to places full of magic and wonder, so by comparing himself to Alice and Harry, J-Hope further reinforces the journey motif first introduced in Hope World. What is interesting here is that his use of literary references also highlight the duality of his character. On the one hand, we have Captain Nemo, a mysterious man who is characterized by his great charisma and his devotion to his crew. Nemo in Latin means no one, and his name is a direct reference to Book 9 of the Odyssey, where Ulysses introduces himself as no one when he meets the Cyclops Polyphemus. Both Captain Nemo and Ulysses are adventurers who value friendship. They are defined by their love for their craft and are hardened by the sacrifices they had to endure because of it. By comparing himself to Captain Nemo, J-Hope is exploring the professional half of himself. The J-Hope persona he built for himself is bright and cheerful, sure, but much like Nemo, his identity is also defined by passion, charisma, sacrifice and friendship. On the other hand, however, we have Alice and Harry, who are two children that end up being the hero of the magical land they discover. The fact that he mentions them in Daydream is no mistake, because by daydreaming, J-Hope explores the other half of himself, the one that is carefree and wants to enjoy life in all its forms. Like Alice and Harry, J-Hope is the protagonist of his own fantasy, and this fantasy is as crazy and magical as Wonderland or Hogwarts. This is also explained in the second verse, where J-Hope shows us what his fantasies entail. When he dreams, he can do whatever he wants. He gets drunk, he goes out, he enjoys his youth, and he is wild and free. In his world, he doesn't have to be careful about the things that he does. He can cry without shame, he can love as much as he wants, he can fulfill his every desire and not worry about money or character. This part is very telling because it shows us that in his fantasy, J-Hope is not J-Hope, but Hosok, a normal boy who can do whatever he wants. If Captain Nemo is hardworking and charismatic like J-Hope, and Alice and Harry are as curious and dynamic as Hosok, one thing all of them have in common is they go on a journey. A concept whose importance in the mixtape is also expressed through another literary reference hidden inside the Daydream music video. In the video, J-Hope is portrayed sitting on a bed in space when he receives a call from Arthur, which is the protagonist of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a comedy science fiction series written by English author Douglas Adams. In the series, we follow the adventures of Arthur, an Englishman who unknowingly befriends an alien named Ford who saves him when the planet is destroyed by the Vogons. After the incident, the two traveled through space with the help of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a travel guide with the writing "Don't Panic" on the cover, a phrase that is also contained in the message J-Hope receives from Arthur in the video. By including the "Don't Panic" reference in the video, J-Hope is implicitly continuing his mission to bring peace to his audience. In the words of author Arthur C. Clarke, "Don't panic" is perhaps the best advice that could be given to mankind. It reminds you to always put things into perspective and to calm down when the situation is dire. Not panicking means to approach life in a more lucid manner, enjoying the ride, so to speak, instead of getting overwhelmed by your worries, which is what J-Hope is trying to tell you in Daydream. When things get tough, you can always rely on your imagination to make things better, and whatever happens, just remember not to panic, because at the end, everything will turn out fine, just like in J-Hope's case. The track that follows Daydream is Baseline, a song that serves as an interlude and that explores the theme of identity and gratitude. In the song, J-Hope further develops the ideas already introduced in Hope World and describes his foundations as an artist and how he got into music. Through the lyrics, we get the sense that the essence of his artistry is based on hard work, gratitude and determination. That's his baseline, the source of his results. Through hard work, he was able to debut and become the artist that he is, and thanks to his determination, he was able to transform his passion into a lifestyle, which is something that he's very grateful for. In the song, J-Hope explains that his music comes from his love for dancing. His rap, J-Hope says, is shaped through the rhythm of his body, which means that his identity as a rapper is strongly influenced by his passion for street dancing. If we consider the mixtape as a novel, Baseline may be seen as the chapter where J-Hope reveals us his backstory. The baselines of J-Hope's world are many and diverse. There's the passion for his crafts, but also the hard work he put into them, the determination that led him where he got, the positivity that he uses to fight hatred, and the gratitude for the environment he lives in, which is something that brings us to the theme of friendship, a concept heavily explored in Hangsang. Hangsang is a track that in style is strongly influenced by old-school hip-hop, which is something that is very evident by J-Hope's use of braggadocio. If Baseline told us about J-Hope's work ethic and gratitude, Hangsang focuses on bragging about the success he has achieved and the importance of friendship in the journey that led him there. The song is split in half. The first half is about the sweet, sweet life BTS is leading right now. The wealth, the fame, the success, the Gucci tabs and the endless number of COS toys they are collecting. But the second half explains why J-Hope is bragging so much about all these things. The lyrics here are very telling. Believing just in us since before debuting and harvesting hearsay. Everything was written, there was no one on our side. Here J-Hope is telling us that his pride doesn't come from vanity or arrogance, but from the hardships BTS had to endure in order to get where they are now. The 7 of them are on a journey that literally started with nothing. No one believed in them but themselves and their company, but now the whole world wants them and they are getting the recognition they deserve. This leads us right back to the theme of gratitude. J-Hope here is bragging about his success because he knows that his haters listen to his music as much as ARMY themselves, but right at the end, he doesn't forget to thank those who were always there for him: his label, his fans, and his team. The track that follows Hangsang is Airplane, which is the second song of the mixtape with a music video. In the track, J-Hope goes on a trip down memory lane and continues to explore the journey motif that led us to this point. While the mixtape ends with Blue Side, Airplane can be seen as an official conclusion to the adventure that began with Hope World. Here, J-Hope shows us he's coming to terms with the reality he's currently living. In the lyrics, there's a heavy focus on memory. Even now, after all the fame and the success, J-Hope still remembers the times when he was only a small-town kid with big dreams. In the song, he also mentions those who are jealous of him, how their spite will only make them lonely while he sips champagne on his plane. And this makes sense because if there's one thing we can understand from this musical journey, is that J-Hope is happy now, satisfied and content after all the sacrifices he has made. What I find interesting about this song is that the theme of flying is a concept that fits with BTS music as well, which is probably the reason why Love Yourself Tear features Airplane Part 2 with all the members involved. Flying here is seen as something that is both literal and metaphorical. Due to their work, BTS is able to travel the world and visit many countries, but ARMY gave them the metaphorical wings they are now flying with. J-Hope and the others are flying because of the love and support ARMY gave them, and that's something they've said themselves on multiple occasions. Both songs here reflect their journey and their reality. Their everyday life involves a lot of hard work and limitations. They may not be able to see the stars, but they are the stars of the galaxy they built for themselves, so the payoff is unimaginable. Last but not least, we have Blue Side, the outro of the mixtape and the epilogue of this musical novel J-Hope gave us. By his own admission, the song plays as an outro for no specific reason, but since he wrote it almost 3 years before the release of Hope World, we can still gather some information about the concept that inspired it. Blue Side is a track that echoes a more innocent and clueless past. It's about the blue side of the world, about the wind and the sky, as well as the good memories they bring when J-Hope looks at them. Its simplicity recalls the nostalgia of a past that is never coming back, but coherent with J-Hope's persona, there's no sadness involved. Blue Side is a song that is meant to convey a feeling more than a specific message. Blue is a color with a heavy symbolism attached to it, and while it can be seen as a color that signifies melancholia, I think that in this case it's meant to express a feeling of peace and calm, which perfectly concludes the journey J-Hope has led us through. So that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did or have any requests for future videos, please let me know in the comments down below. If you like BTS, I've done other videos about them and I'm planning others as well, so don't forget to subscribe for other content. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!